What's up, guys? I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time now. I guess I'll start off by saying I am a white male with probably the most privilege anybody could ever think of. My family is, upper middle class in the 1%. But this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a very long time. And with the recent, uproarings or whatever about Colin Kaepernick's protest of the national anthem, I think that's a good jumping off point to start off with for this conversation. And that's what I want this to be. I want this to be a conversation that you guys, whoever, my friends, anybody that sees this video, friends, family, anybody, can have a conversation with me about this, because this is something that I have a very strong belief for. So I guess I'll start off with Colin Kaepernick's protest of the national anthem, first sitting and now kneeling, and a lot of athletes following suit, a lot of athletes saying, that's a little too far at this point in time, and then a lot of fans, service members, police members, immediately just discrediting what he is standing for. And what he is standing for is the injustices towards the African American community, as well as other communities, Hispanic, Native American, Asian, just all, mainly African American, but the injustices in America. They are present. They have not gone away. Racism is alive and well in America. It is better than it has been. Better saying there has been less racism, but it's still there, and you can't say it's gone. So I'm going to go with what a lot of people have said is that, what he is doing is wrong. You don't protest the national anthem. The national anthem is America, and America is great, and America, everything is great. Well, it's not. It's not great. There are injustices everywhere, and what I immediately thought was, wow, this is one big step. He kind of went from 0 to 100 in one big step. But I completely agree with it, because yes, the national anthem, yes, the flag represent America, represent freedom. That's the key word here, is freedom. To say whatever you want in America within legal limits. And this is a completely legal thing that he did, sitting down. He sat down. That is completely legal. And what people immediately go to is like freedom of speech, is like, you have the right to say and do whatever you want. But then when someone goes against that, they're immediately wrong. When they're expressing their freedom, and that's what Colin Kaepernick did, his freedom of expression. He believes there are injustices in America, and there are, and he protested that by sitting down during the national anthem, expressing his beliefs, and that is completely legal, and that is completely protected by the Constitution. And why I support this most of all is because I do not believe that the flag and that the national anthem represent freedom for all. They say they do. The flag represents freedom and justice for all. It says it right there, but it doesn't. In America right now, racism, prejudice, homophobia, Islamophobia, xenophobia is up front and center in the news everywhere. And just saying that, oh, America is great is not a reason to disbar those things from happening. They're happening every single day, whether the media covers it or not. And what makes this really hard for me to talk about is people that I know, that I went to school with, that I grew up with, my family immediately, not immediately, but like to just go about their days like nothing is happening. And that's why I wanted to make this video, is because a lot of you that follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, or not, whatever, I don't care. You see that I share a lot of, messages, political articles about racism, Islamophobia, xenophobia, homophobia as well. And a lot of you are sick of it. A lot of you have unfollowed me on Facebook. My own roommate has told me that he has unfollowed me on Facebook because he's sick of seeing these posts. But that's the thing, is like, you can't just do that and expect everything to go back to normal. You can't just not see things and expect them to go away. You need to do something. And for the longest time, I've just been sharing these posts and hoping people read them. But it's now time for me to speak up. And I think that if I was in Colin Kaepernick's position, I would also kneel or sit or whatever for the national anthem. And I know I am not of the racial makeup that these injustices are aimed towards, are happening to, occurring. But I support them. I support the fact that everybody in this nation deserves to have the same opportunities as me, as a white male from the upper middle class that has lived a great life, but unfortunately has to see this happening every single day in our nation. So I guess my next statement would be, or a lot of people's responses to this would be, oh, you don't support our police, you don't support our servicemen, you don't support America. I guess my response to that would be, I support our police, I support our servicemen. I don't always support the wars that they go out and serve in, but they are providing the ultimate service to our nation, voluntarily protecting our citizens. The majority of police officers, I believe, are good. There are a few bad eggs, seeds, however you want to say it, out there that have given cops a bad name. My family knows a lot of New York State cops. One of the guys I golf with when I'm home is a Syracuse police officer, and he's one of the nicest guys I know. And I don't believe that there is any drop of racism or anything in his body. What I'm trying to say is, if I were in Kaepernick's position and I sat down in the national anthem, that does not mean I'm against police officers. That means I am against the injustices that are happening in America right now. That not everybody in this nation is equal, is not treated equally. So I guess the next step from this would be to talk about just straight up racism. What I believe and what I think is completely true is that racism is learned. It is taught. You are not born with it. There are plenty of videos on the internet, you can go see them, of white, black, Hispanic, Asian children playing together. They go up to each other, they'll give them a hug. And that's the thing, is that they're so young that they don't see color. They don't see that that person is different from me. They see another person, another child that they would like to play with, that they would like to hang out with. My grandfather is racist. He has used the N-word many times in conversations with him. He has pointed out gay people in restaurants. Sorry, phone call. He has pointed out gay people in restaurants and was disgusted. And this does not make me love him any less as a family member, as a grandfather. But the thing is, he grew up, he was alive during the civil rights movement when he was alive before that, when blacks did not have the right to vote, when Martin Luther King was killed, when Malcolm X was killed, when RFK was killed, when JFK was killed. These things happened in his life, and he went through them all and saw and experienced everything, and still in 2016 can make these racist statements. Now, the bigger picture of that is that there are millions of baby boomers, there are millions of Americans that still are racist, they grew up in that time of the civil rights movement and still made it through completely unchanged. And until that generation goes away, until they pass away, unfortunately they pass away, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, until they pass away and the new generation, there is a generation now that was born after September 11th, which is crazy to think that there are kids these days that did not experience that. That was 15 years ago. So what I'm saying is when we're finally to a point where there is a generation that never lived through the civil rights movement, that never saw these things happening, and they're still happening today. There is a lot of systematic racism in America. If we can get to a point where there's a generation that everybody alive did not experience or go through those things and are born into a family that did not experience these things as well, I believe that, racism will slowly go away in the social aspect of it. The fact that you see a black person, you see a Hispanic person, you see Native American on the street, and you don't immediately think, oh crap, I'm in danger. There's people that think like that. There's people that immediately think that, and that is amazing to me. And I can't wait until I have kids and I can teach them that there's nothing wrong with being black, being Hispanic, being Native American, being Asian, being anything different. Being Muslim that's a whole nother topic to talk about right now, because there's nothing wrong with Muslim Americans, and oh my god. I guess I've kind of bounced all over the place here. What I'm trying to say is that the flag, that the national anthem, that America is not freedom and justice for all right now, in this moment. I want to believe that at some point in my lifetime, it will be freedom and justice for all. That any race, any religion, any sexuality, gender, another huge topic, transgender Americans, is that everybody will be treated equally under the flag, in America. And that's not the case right now. And in the case of Colin Kaepernick, in sitting down, kneeling during the national anthem, I completely agree with his actions in what his actions stand for, that people are not being treated equally. It is not immediately, I hate America. It is, I believe that America does not treat everyone equally, and I am going to do something about it. And this is what I'm in the position to do, is begin a conversation about it. Whether you want to have this conversation with me is up to you, but I believe that something needs to be spoken about, that actions need to be taken. And if you completely disagree with me and immediately just want to unfollow me from Facebook, unfollow me from Twitter, and just completely write me off as someone who's crazy, you can go do that. If you want to have a reasonable conversation with me about how there are injustices in America and that America is not freedom and justice for all, I would love to have that conversation with you. You can comment below in the YouTube comment section, Facebook comment section. You can reply to me on Twitter, DM me on Twitter, whatever you want to do. Thank you for taking this time to watch this video if you have. As of right now, it's 16 minutes of raw footage. We'll see if I can trim that down. But it's a conversation that needs to be started and had. And I'm doing my best to do so. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Still working on my outro. Peace.